Thank you for tuning in. This is Ratna. You are watching Empire Diaries. A 2021 Bloomberg report estimated that the cancer industry is going to expand to over $300 billion by 2031. Big problem means big business, and big business needs big hype, a manufactured hype. A recent research on cancer medicine got a worldwide media attention. As Big Pharma and big media work together, it is no wonder that such mindless hype is required for business purpose. To know more about this, we talked to Dr. Sthabir Dasgupta, who is a top cancer surgeon who has been treating cancer patients for last 40 years and who has also authored a book, Environment and the Phenomenon of Cancer.
The last few days, we can see news about the magic drug of cancer. So are we really in a position to say that we have finally been able to crack the code? What is your opinion?
It is always good news if a cancer drug trial seems to be promising, since we long for that. And as such, a recent drug trial on rectal cancer should be appreciated. However, the term magic drug that has been used seems to be superfluous now. Hope should not be replaced by hype. Newer drugs, newer methods of radiation, newer methods of surgery, newer technologies will be evolved in course of time. The end of cancer research is not in sight. There are different phases of trial in cancer research. This is a phase 2 trial done in a single hospital. Very, very small, tiny number of patients having some specific characteristics in their cancer cells have been selected for the trial. The trial signifies that Dostarlimab, the drug, may, and I repeat, may improve the quality of life of some rectal cancer patients, but nothing can be said about how long these patients are expected to live without cancer, because the trial is still very, very immature.
So,
in fact, this
Dr.
study,
Generally, how many trial phases are there in this kind of experiment?
in fact, there are 5 phases of trial that are in vogue today.
Mm-hmm.
The third phase of trial is very important because it is done in the general masses of the people, and then it is approved by the authorities for marketing.
That is most interesting and important point, because there is huge involvement of big pharma companies in cancer treatment,
Yes.
with chemotherapy,
Yes.
with surgery, and it has become an extremely profitable business. So,
Of course.
is it another big pharma stance to make a hype?
Now, the disturbing point, as you are saying, is that cancer is no more a pure science. It has become an industry. Today, we are living in an era of corporate medicine. This is very important. The recent corona COVID crisis has made it clear that science of medicine is being hijacked by the corporate world, particularly during the last 2 years. During the last 2 years, the kind of research on some virus done under their tutelage have failed to influence general masses in a positive way. So-called vaccine have also failed to raise any hope. So the corporates are destined to manufacture hype and unreasonable hope around newer kind of research, particularly cancer research, because cancer has been painted as a dreaded disease. We do not know what kind of research is stored under their sleeves, but this much is certain, that many things will be done in the name of research in future.
So do you think that after this coronavirus, this trend has started?
Yes, to some extent it is true. And you see, I should remind you of a book. It was named The Vandals at the Gates of Medicine. The name of the book was vandals at the gates of medicine. It was written by a doctor, Dr. Faria, and published in 1995. It was predicted that vandals who are sitting at the gates of medicine will do whatever they like to do. The big pharma is now involved in cancer treatment and is not a new phenomenon. It has started since 1970s.
Yeah.
They have built a cancer industry. So more and more, it now seems that cancer medicine has become synonymous with cancer industry. After all, hype is necessary for the survival of such big business. We are witnessing that the newer cancer drugs are unreasonably expensive. Take, for instance, the present drug that is in question. In this trial, 9 doses of the drug were administered over a period of 6 months. Okay? And during these 6 months, the costing was around 1 crore. Somebody says that it is more than 1.5 crores, like that, in our country, in our currency. We still do not know the exact dosage schedule, which will be finally determined later on. But even if we wish to use it, it is difficult, if not impossible, to conceive its utility in our population. You may know that a paper recently presented by the Tata Memorial Hospital, Mumbai, conveys that not more than 3% of the Indian patients will afford this kind of drugs. So under these circumstances, cancer industry, if it wants to survive, is left with only one recourse, which is creating mindless hype periodically. So far as the biology is concerned, as like many other such diseases which arise from our own physiology, it doesn't come from outside. It arises from our own physiology. So the word cure, as we understand, does not apply here. However, they can be controlled. These diseases can be controlled and thus can be lived with. Similarly, the phrase like war on cancer is a misnomer. Unfortunately, the history of modern cancer research of, say, at least 50 years is the history of devastating war on patients. Since cancer cannot be won over by so-called war, the history of our modern cancer research is one of episodic fads and fascinating stories with limited shelf lives. In the name of war against cancer, they are waging war against the people. Because cancer cannot be won by so-called war. It can be controlled. That is why cancer war is a misnomer. Now, you see, these kind of researches and these kind of treatment, this will continue. This will continue as long as corporate medicine survives and as long as we continue to dance to their tunes. The alternative course will be the development of more rational, holistic, and humane medicine, which will teach us the better ways of controlling the menace of cancer. It only denotes that alertness on our part is mandatory in the face of the corporate vandalism.
News is not what you are told, but what you are not. For more such insightful interviews, stories, articles, and analysis, log on to our website empirediaries.com and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Do subscribe our YouTube channel Empire Diaries and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we publish a report. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, stay informed.